And we are underway. Hello, everyone. I'm Rosie Murphy, aka Rosie O'Kelly. And I want to say welcome to you, all of you. I'm just adjusting a few things as we go forward. There's going to be a lot of people that are new on here tonight, and I just want to make sure everything is set up properly here, and we're propagating to the other side. I just need a minute there just to see. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. And there we go. We are live, and welcome to each and every one of you tonight. It's a whole new world out there this evening, folks, and I want to talk about that. No worries, Jasmine. No worries. I'm going to address that in a minute. This, I don't know where in it. Oh, this right here. Yeah, I'm going to address that in a minute because, well, I got a few things to say. I want to say welcome to all of you. For a lot of you, this will be the first time you've ever been into the Rancho. And hello, everybody on the side chat, Rob. We'll wait a couple minutes and let things fill up a little bit here before we get underway. There'll be a lot of repetition tonight. There'll be a lot of things. Hi, Brenda. Nice to see you, Kevin Chambers. It's so often awesome to see my regular friends here, Drew and other people. Great to see you guys. I've had Saturday hangouts. I used to have Wednesday and Saturday, and I kind of reduced that to a Saturday hangout and then a baking on Friday nights. And I've kind of reduced it to just a Saturday hangout now for years on here. Hi, Joe. Nice to see you. And there'll be a lot of new people on tonight. And there'll be a lot of people wanting to come in. There'll be a lot of people with information. There'll be a lot of people with opinions. Hi, Clayton. Nice to see you. And things have changed in the chat world because I want this chat to sort of be the antithesis. Hey, T-Bergs, of other chats that may be taking place out there that choose to have wrenches and mods and block people and remove comments and things like that. I can't tell people what to do with their own comments, but I know for a fact over here, the days of removing and blocking and deleting are over for me. Now, that does not mean for me, I don't much care, but for other people to come on with family information and stuff like that, that will be removed. I don't want any, like for myself, I don't care. There's Stephen O'Kelly. I laugh at a lot of this stuff. It's fine. But other people are a lot more sensitive to that type of thing in here. And for them, it's important that, because these people haven't done any wrong or are not involved in the whole storm that is sweeping a good part of YouTube at the current time. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, T-Birds. Hi, Kevin Chambers. I know people have lots and lots of questions. Did you call the cops today after that threat? By the way, that masked guy is the Scientology Zen person that basically get that threat. No, I didn't call the police, and I'm going to tell you why. But just let's get a couple minutes. I want to sort of talk about the hangouts here. I'm not a person that's intimidated and threatened, okay, on any level, on any scale. Most of my life has been bullied from very young to, well, transitioning and doing what I do now. I'm equipped to deal with it. I'm case hardened. It's like a socket wrench or a box end wrench that's been drop forged. It's pretty darn strong. I'm not one to cut and run from controversy. I'm not one to be spooked off because I get doxed out. Information is released. I've been here a long time, 5 years. Everybody knows where I live on the internet. I've been getting calls around the clock. James from Square Trade. I've blocked James from Square Trade, but there's Phyllis from Harry and David's, down the whole list. It's okay. I'm not saying, what you guys got to realize is, thank you. What you have to realize is that, as I've said for a week now, a lot of people didn't know this was coming. And you could, the show Trailer Park Boys, when Mr. Leahy, he stands out there and What is it, Mr. Leahy? And Bubbles is there. What is it, Mr. Leahy? And Mr. Leahy says, I'm a shithawk. There's a shitstorm coming here. You can smell it in the air. And all of the signs were there that something big was going to come down on the internet. So I kind of suspected and had an idea of what it was. And it was not something that I totally disagreed with. Okay, the intent of it. And that was to remove a fellow YouTube content creator. And I used creator with quotation marks around it. I sure do use that with quotation marks around it. Now, the bottom line is, though, that I could see this coming here. And I was prepared for that to be here. I went and looked at every one of my videos, sat with Missy Jen. We went over 10,000 videos in about 2.5 to 3 weeks, and we stripped out 4,000 videos out of my 10,000 videos just to be ready for this situation. And I was really happy that I did that. I want to tell you today what was put on the back of the rig was not, you know, I'm not intimidated by that. Do you really think that that was Anon? The answer is no. But the bottom line of it is unintended consequences. You throw a pebble into a stream and you get ripples that come out. Hate begets hate begets hate. Now, like I say, the chances of Anon being involved anywhere near something this minute and on the bottom of YouTube is ridiculous. Okay, but it does not mean that they're not smart people involved in what's going on here right now, and you have to realize that. But the bottom line is other people now join. You can see the view. You can see the people coming in now because there's something big going on here right now. There's a very principled fight here about whether we have the freedom to express ourselves and pursue our happiness, or rather whether we're going to let vigilante justice reign on YouTube. Now, YouTube is a platform that has its rules. It has its regulations that you have to follow. They're called TOS, terms of service. And if you don't follow the terms of service, you get ousted off of YouTube. That's the board that we all know and like. That's the board we expect. But when you engage in subterfuge and constructive, I'm not gonna use words because you know the other side gets mad if you use certain words. But I'll say when people collude. How about that? When people collude with each other in an organized fashion to wreak mayhem and cause problems, then you have a situation that transcends YouTube and the game. They take it up to a whole new level. And as I told people, if today is Camper Van Elvis, who might be tomorrow? Might it be David Guns? Might it be Boris? Somebody's flashing weapons and people start to gradually chip away at your rights and tell you what you can and you can't do. As I've said a lot of times, this is not pick and choose rights here. Sure, YouTube and Google, they have their own rights. They have their own rules. And they can kick anybody they want. If you look at your agreement to be on a YouTube channel, it says we may terminate you at any time for any reason within our rights, and we reserve all those rights to do that. That's their board. But the reality is, as long as you're abiding by the terms and services, then it's your ability to be here should be respected. Let the YouTube terms and conditions take the person out. Now, in the case of Camper Van Elvis, the game it's already underway. Okay, and my only objection is to it. And as a couple of people have said, Lacey Rocks and other, it's the 8th inning now of the game. Well, I think it's more like the 5th or the 4th inning myself. Reason being that, well, I'm not going to talk about that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff still coming up here. A lot of things of termination and things like that. And, you know, if your AdSense account goes negative in more than $1,000, then YouTube will shut your channel down. So what is done is people constructively give in a colluding manner. They give donations to Camper Van Elvis with the intent, the predetermined, premeditated intent, and this is the weak part of their operation, is it's premeditated, and it's celebrated, and it's high-fived, and there's delight taken in it. And this is the problem. It's like a bank job where they run out of the bank with the money, and they stand outside of the bank and forget that they need to get away. So they stand there high-fiving each other. And then the cops show up, you know, and take them all away. You know, not everybody is as dumb as they imagine people to be. Now, the intent of that is not something that I don't enjoy the content that Elvis puts up, and I've told him so. He tells me, he takes great delight in telling me, Rosie, I don't like the content that you put up on YouTube. I will watch an occasional foodie video, and I say, Marshall, I don't really enjoy the content you put up on video, except if you're cooking in the rig, or except if you're at a restaurant eating or something like that. Then I'm very interested in what you're eating, because I enjoy that. I'm not into haranguing people. I'm not into pestering people for money. But I do protect, and I do hold up their right to do that within the terms of YouTube, and not be taken out in a colluded effort to subjugate the rules of YouTube and Google to remove somebody from the situation. The chances are very likely that that Camper Van Elvis channel will be removed from YouTube. This is fact. This is fact. You know, YouTube is a huge organization. Google's a huge organization, and they're not going to. This is a pimple on the map of the earth in terms of the sphere of Google. They're not going to be particularly interested in spending more than 6.2 seconds on something to us that's very big and very dramatic that it's occurring right now. So the chances of him leaving are very high at this point in time. Okay, so I want to state that out perfectly well. I'm not stupid. I understand that. These people had a well-concocted, well-set-up plan, but the downside of it is you open chat rooms and people just talk to each other, blah, 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 blah. You know, if people would just keep counsel, and just nobody would ever be, you know, you'd have the smoothest. I mean, it would make Ocean's 11 look like a Sunday school robbery, you know, for kids' lunch money at school. But people cannot keep their mouths shut when it comes to engaging in activity like this. There's too much of a need, too much of a narcissistic need to, well, give each other reach arounds and slap high fives and talk about how great they are and what a bunch of boneheads that everybody else is in the neighborhood. For me, like I said, I don't really care. There's a principle at work here, and the principle is quite simply, you know, do we follow the rules of the game, or do we start writing our own rules? And if we start writing our own rules, when does it end? That's the question that has to be addressed. Now, today, you know, and I've made videos, I've asked people to write YouTube and Google. I gave you something that you could put in and write to them. If you think that the game is being tilted unfairly, then you can write them. If you agree that Camper Van Elvis should just be removed, then do nothing at all. And the chances and the likelihood is very high that he will be removed. You know, the thing that Camper Van Elvis doesn't understand is money does not drop out of the sky. And when you dangle a picture of a woman in front of him and you attach that to a donation that's so outsized, and the inability to look at that donation and say, that doesn't really make a lot of sense in the scheme of the world today, that some random stranger is going to just come up and start lavishing money on you because you live in a camper van and you roll around Florida. I mean, the average person is going to be, you can't hear me? Let me see if it's my audio okay. It looks like my audio is okay. How come you still have YouTube? Nobody dropped that. I said YouTube will take me out, Michael Blaine. Can you hear me out there? It looks like it's much. Okay, thank you. So what I want to say in that regard is that a right thinking person. Thank you all, everybody. A right thinking person would realize immediately that there's something on. But you know, not everybody is, you know, tuned into the realities of today's world and the realities of donating and things like that. Now, that's number one. So I think that Camper Van Elvis was an easy mark for this. What also made him an easy mark was the content that he's done over the years. The haranguing, the terrible things said to D.W. Red about what he was going to do to his wife, the terrible things that have harangued other people. It's one thing to talk about, woo, I'm going to give you, I'm just stating my opinion. You can do whatever the hell you want. But I'm just saying, when you talk about giving people 60 minutes in the jungle room, and I don't care about that. But when you start targeting at individual people, then you start to create people that are going to have a little bit of bloodlust for what you're doing. And can you really blame them? What you fail to understand is that people have pride. They have pride, and they don't like to have their pride insulted. And that's fact. That's an absolute fact. And I've tried to impress that on Elvis. If you go back to the Rosie O'Kelly channel and you look at Elvis's Redemption Road starting in November of 2015, even before, when James Wonderlust Estate sat on top of a birdseed container in a Walmart aisle and tried to talk sense into Marshall. You know, a showboating move, yes. You know, but tried to talk sense into Marshall. These things just bounce off. Okay, this is fact. The other thing that I want to say is, if you do this thing and you engage in this behavior over a long period of time, you're going to make a long enemies list. And then to up the game, when the donations are coming in and suddenly people are being booted and deleted and kicked out of Hangouts and stuff because they don't give in Hangouts, which has now brought us to the point where we are right now, where we have a situation where somebody has to be on the run for fear of having a GPS tracker put on their van, for fear that a real man like D.W. Red, who I admire, the greatest trucker in the history of America, is out there with something in his mind. I'm not saying, and I apologize, D.W. Red, I'm not talking about, you know, I apologize for contextual things, and we'll talk about my video this morning. Okay, I want to apologize for that. Okay, so I understand that. I get that. And in Elvis's mind, there's D.W. Reds around every corner now. So you're reduced to sitting there at night with a light under your chin doing Hangouts and stuff. This is a far cry from the Elvis that I enjoyed. It would be bloviating and woo in the kitchen in Arkansas, and look at this, you beta boys, and maybe calling out some guys on YouTube. But it's come a long way since then. And I just want to encourage Elvis to pull back from that and just realize that you're in a plane and you have the stick all the way forward, and this plane is now pitching down on about a 70-degree angle at a terminal velocity, and you're going to crash and burn. It's now or never that you're going to have to decide where you stand in the context of this thing. The problem with what's happened recently, and I decided to take a stand. Remember, we're the reactionary force in the Winged Bull Mafia, the Glenn Henrys, the Five Gobblers, the Fox Songs, the Card Captor Serenes. The people, and I've missed a few of the other ones too, the people that stand up and text me that they just don't like bullying on YouTube. Now, if you're bullying as a content creator like Marshall is, then you've got to be willing to take the consequences of that, because it's going to spill over into real life. You're going to walk out of a store one day, it's going to be dark, and something bad is going to happen. And somebody's going to walk away having done something to you, and they're going to be a person that has the ability to keep their mouth shut. That's the person that you should most fear, because those people are extremely rare that can keep their mouth shut, rare as can be on YouTube, and that's the person that's going to take you out. Okay? Now, having taken that stand and hoping that the rules of YouTube would be the rules of engagement for removing somebody, and when I saw it wasn't, although I like many of the principles involved in what's going on the other side, I just want the game to be fair. Now, these guys, what I call the Gang of Four, they've already moved the process forward to a point where Camper Van Elvis is very likely to be taken out. I mean, that's fact. Okay, there's no pulling back from that. But I just want to make sure that you guys realize that what can happen here on YouTube if you're not careful. The other thing that happens is other people start to come in. You see the views. Okay, now remember, we didn't start this thing. We didn't get together in Las Vegas and say, let's invent a Lacey Rocks that comes out of the Middle East. It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's girlfriend, right? And suddenly happens to find some guy in a camper van randomly in Florida that likes to say, woo, and can I get a woo? And gee, let's start laying money on him. Okay, it wasn't NIH, not invented here. Okay, so anybody that says it's for the views and blah, 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 the views come as a natural result of the action that was taken on the other side. Of course, some people are going to be indignant that this type of activity occurs. And people on the other side, a few of them have broken through and made contact and said, this is what's going on. I don't want to be a part of this thing. When it all comes a cropper and it's all, when the deed is done or whatever. Some people will be happy to live with it. That's fine. Some people will feel awful about what is done, because if Camper Van Elvis's channel is taken away, his ability to reformat himself and possibly change direction will be removed, and he will have lost a very important way to potentially support himself as the channel grows. That was my concern. So bottom line, let them take him out if he doesn't follow the rules, but let's let the rules be the thing that decides it. Now, let's talk about this. Okay, I've told you, for those of you who did not see the video today, this was on the back. It had like a little bit of, what would you call that? What's those glue stick or something, just on the back window of Little Rascal there, which I have parked out here because it's muddy in the back and I don't want to get trapped back there to to have that pulled out too. So I went out front. I haven't gone out front too much, and I just was cutting the grass and going back to empty the clippings container, and I saw this on the back of the rig. Now, do I think this is a no, but the problem is that because of this activity, you now have no idea who's engaged in the game. Santa Rosa is a large city. It's 200,000 people. It's small in the context of California cities, but it's good size. It's about the size of Salt Lake City. It's a pretty good size city. There's a lot of people here. And the odds are that some people have seen what's going on in here. Some people dislike camper band Elvis immensely, and they know where I live. It's not hard to find out. This is the kind of person that's a parallel to the person that's waiting for Elvis when he comes out of a store one evening and just takes him out and keeps his mouth shut. Okay? It's not a non. A non wouldn't be caught dead with this ham-fisted crappy operation that's going on right now. A non would no more be involved with this than fly around the moon. This is just local people now being involved in this drama because of what's being spun here. Okay, that's the realities of that. So, okay, I'm not bothered by it, Kim, to tell you the truth. So I'll throw that open. I usually just keep the side chat for this first hour or so. So I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Turn off your computer, the internet's bad. If you're downloading something, stop right now. Shut it down. We don't have enough bandwidth. Guys will just sit next to me tonight. Okay. Cover up over there. It's just the dress that I have here. All right. So let's continue here. Now let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about something positive. Or let's finish off here. I'm not going to be blocking anybody on Hangouts. And this may have a, thank you, George Farnsworth. This may have a, will have an impact on people that want to probably come on the Hangouts. And I did not realize that. It's just a whole new world, because to me, it's more important than, it's more important to me that people have a place that they're not going to get wrenched out. And that people have a place that they can hang out here and chat and not be wrenched out of a hangout. Elvis, Marshall, I'm going to tell you the way you tell me. I don't like the way you run your hangouts, but they're your hangouts. Okay? So, yeah, I come in to make an appearance to just show the flag, so to speak. So I'm not going to, you know, if people want to come on and hang out on the panel, or they want to chat on the side chat, and the people that come in here are decent people, okay, and they're not people. I will, you know, I think that anybody that, you know, puts out family information and stuff like that, that's really kind of low end stuff. And I'm just saying that. Lori Green, I wanted to also mention to you, because you were associated with AdSense. I'm going to talk about the super chat in a minute. Lori Green, I know you're associated with AdSense, so you know you may also just want to back up with the letters and the things that went into that people wrote on behalf of someone that arguably doesn't deserve the support, but just the principle of freedom here to run your own shit wagon into the ground. I hope that you might, you know, make a note of that when the things come down. Let's talk about the super chat. I don't like e-begging. Bottom line. I work hard for my money, and I get very, very upset when I get up in the morning at 5 a.m. drag my ass out, work, do consulting work now, and then drag my ass to a second job and do push paperwork there, because there's such a doctor shortage and such a shortage of people after so many houses burned to the ground here. In the most expensive and deadliest wildfire in U.S. history swept here in a period of 8 hours. 200 doctors, over 600 nurses lost their homes, and a lot of them have left the area here now. The most major clinic in town, fire broke through a window, and the fire roared through that clinic that serves about 20,000 people, 25,000 people, and gutted it on the inside. Okay? A year it's going to take them to rebuild that facility and redo it. So a lot of people have left there. That is out of action. When you lose the biggest medical facility in town, it puts a tremendous stress on the other places that are still operating. It puts a stress on physicians. It puts a stress on nursing. It puts a tremendous stress on administrative things too. That to the point that I'm exhausted with this thing. And I tell you, I can't even go to Southern California now with a good heart like I was planning to do at the end of the month, because I just can't spare the time off of work. Okay? So I just wanted you to be aware of the realities of that. So I get mad when I have to work, and I see other people living the high life, and I don't care whether they're on a sailboat, because I watch some of these sailing channels and things like that. I watch a lot of RV stuff. Obviously, I love RVing, and I love the RV community here. I know most of them wouldn't want to, wouldn't let me carry their shoes. I understand that. But there is still a glory in this country of working for a living and not being a bum. And as I put it this way, ham and egging versus van and begging. You decide which you think is the right way for this country. Because when I drag my old ass into work every day, some measure of my taxes, of which I pay a lot, go to supporting some of these people who, A, depend on food stamps and government support because they're too lazy to work. And B, as they get older, they'll start to have medical issues. They will then slide onto the Medicaid system. Some of them will slide into substance abuse problems, to self-medicate, to absorb the shock of not having prepared for anything for the future. The medical problems will escalate, and people wonder why our emergency rooms are clogged with bums from the street. And I hate to say that. After 20 years of watching daily faxes come in from hospitals, you all should be very frightened what's going on in America right now. Because the days of somebody, Johnny coming in with a high fever and Sally coming in with a broken arm or a twisted ankle are long gone. Every day is a litany of substance abuse, alcoholism, drug intoxication, fights on the street. And emergency rooms can't deny these people. So the bills go up and everybody else has to shoulder load. The equivalent of the equivalent of New England is now on disability in this country. The population of New England is now on disability. There are less and less people to shoulder the burden going forward in this country. This is why I get extremely upset about things like e-begging and stuff like that, because you're not pulling your fair share. You're taking productive, earned money from somebody else's pocket and you're putting it into your pocket. Now, you can be an entertainer. Great. People want to pay to be entertained. That's cool. You know, I'm just saying, just understand that one day the shit wagon will stop rolling and you won't be entertaining anymore. And there won't be a damn person watching the show. And at that time, you'll become a full ward of the state and another person that the hard-working people of America have to take care of in this country. So I can't stand it. I hate it with a passion. So when Super Chat came about, I thought, this is nice. Maybe somebody could, get buy a cup of coffee. Missy Jen, she doesn't have a lot. Most of the money, we donate a lot of stuff every month, and I don't care. Money never meant a hell of a lot to me. But I'm saying it was nice when people could give $5, or when they hit the Amazon and they use the Amazon link. But the Super Chat is abused. It's not meant to support a lifestyle. It's not meant to support your daily need. And if you're a content creator, Patreon, I'm not even crazy about that, but people do it. So I just keep my mouth shut and I go to work every day. But I decided now that there should be better things to offset the bad taste of e-begging in this community. And the thing that I've chosen to offset the bad taste of e-begging in this community is to start raising money for good causes. So when we go to sleep at night, we don't have to go into a chat room next day and fight a rear guard action because we donated to someone that wasn't in a lot of other people's idea worthy of that donation. Last night, hate me, I enjoyed the bikini baking on Friday night. We made Coats 9,500 coming at you, cinnamon buns. And in the course of that hangout, thanks to a Keystone donation by a wonderful gentleman friend of mine, Cooper in Florida, over $1,300 was raised last night for St. Jude's Hospital's Cancer Center for Children. That's real. Now, I started breaking down last night in the hangout because I remember walking through and delivering papers and shuttling administrative crap back and forth in hospitals and walking through cancer wards of children with the realization that most of those little faces that I see are not going to be there the next time that I go through. It's the most heartbreaking thing of medicine, and I have no idea how doctors and nurses deal with that every day without wanting to jump out a window. It's terrible. So I'm just telling you that the e-begging shit for me, it's over. I'm washing my hands of it. This is why I tell you guys I'm not donating to these shit wagons anymore. If somebody's in dire need, yes. But to fund a lifestyle that ends up haranguing at people and laughing at people and berating people sucks. We got our values wrong. I got my values wrong. So I've just decided every hangout that I have from now on, there'll be a link down there, not a link to me. I don't have to be a person that says, give me the money first and I'll do it. I don't want anybody to come back on me. I want to have you guys hit that directly for $5 or $10 if you feel like it to make a difference. You know, St. Jude's probably not used to some blast coming in at 2:30 in the morning Eastern time of money coming in on the donor line. But I went to bed last night and I thought to myself, you know, this is pretty cool. You know, I had a good feeling last night that you know, this is the way, this is nice. And I decided tonight that one of the other causes is near and dear to my heart. Bye, Ricky. Nice to see you. Love you. I decided one of the causes is near and dear to my heart is the Wounded Warriors Project. So I have a link down there tonight to that. So Walter White wrote, who the hell are these people to tell you how or who you spend your money and do whatever it's your life? I ain't no saint, but I'm telling you, you got to move on in life, and that's what I've decided to do. Enough said. Now, with that, I'm going to open. You know, I haven't been watching a lot of the side chat because I wanted to kind of get that out there. So there'll be other things going on the YouTube. Yeah, careful with Wounded Warriors. There was a hostile takeover. Yeah. I can't be perfect, but you know what the good news about that is, traveling to the USA 50, and you and I didn't start out to be, you know, kind of a kindred spirit, but I'll tell you what, it's on them now if they piss the money away. It's not on me anymore. It's not my responsibility because not one dime. No, I'm not moving on, Kat. I'm staying right here. I'm standing my ground. I'm absolutely positively staying my ground. I'm not moving on. I'm not moving on one bit. I'm going to be involved in this, and I've already pledged. I'm not putting money in, but when the shit hits the fan, which it will, I would like to think that I could help a little bit administratively to try to help him put his life back together. Will he have learned a lesson? Probably 99.99% no. What are you going to do? Yeah, that should be it. Hashtag make Elvis work again. Well, it was blasted out last night, Mallory Williams. It wasn't me. The person noted it themselves. Therefore, I feel like I'm empowered to announce that. Okay. Will you be there when Elvis calls you up for 2K in a couple days? Here's the beauty of the thing. You know what? I don't have Elvis's number, and I think after 10 phone switches, I doubt if he has mine now. You know, okay, this is reality. I told him when we left Las Vegas, I don't want you to give me I don't want your phone number. When all this stuff came down and said, I don't want your phone number. Okay. I haven't contacted on Facebook and said, send me your phone number or anything like that. There'll be a time, maybe, you know, I'll be in the hangouts and stuff like that, but there'll be a time. But I don't need the headache. It's like last night when suddenly the Lisa Marie broke down. And I kind of have an idea because I had a coachman. I had steering column issues too with shift stuff, and I wanted to make a comment in the comment section. But what does he have? He has the comments turned off for the video. And there it is. You call people out for your Alamo, and you don't even have his phone number. No, why would I have his phone number? Why would I care about having his phone number? No, I did not have his phone number. Yeah, yeah, Kim, exactly. I mean, this is the mentality. It's hard to help somebody when the comments section is off. And I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, you know? Yeah, rubbing alcohol. Well, the beauty of that is that's over there and I'm over here. And that's I don't have to worry about that. I'm sure you do, Mallory. I have no doubt that you are a very giving person. Okay. It's just like enabling an addict. Stopped enabling. Well, you obviously haven't heard what what I said. If you're making your stand at the Allen, it seems odd you do not have his phone number and call others for not stepping up for him. Well, I talked to the other ones. I don't talk to him. I've talked to Jory. I've talked to Mr. X before. What am I going to gain from talking to Elvis? He doesn't understand the concept of what's going on here, what the principles are. Why would I feel that, you know, what would I gain? What beneficial knowledge would I have? Okay, very good. Nice to see you, Gerald. I mean, honestly, what could I learn from Marshall in talking to him? I will, JK. I'm going to send that right now. Okay, I got that locked down for a minute. So that's kind of the way I feel about things on there. So, okay. Let's see, James. I think I got your channel on. Chat's flying so fast tonight. My good friend JK NoCal, so nice to have dinner and with he and his beautiful wife, and to be with somebody that just works so hard 7 days a week. So, all right. All right. All right. All right. All right, sorry about that. See if we're getting over to the other side there. My bad. All right, there we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I actually kicked the. I'm not sure if he's going to be on or not tonight. To tell you the truth, I just don't know. I'm not sure if he's going to be on tonight or not. To tell you the truth, so we shall see. Throw firecracker into this channel. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Now we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. I got up to help Missy Jen, and I just totally kicked the plug out of the hookup here. My bad. Okay, we are back. I'm back now. Thank you, Kim. I apologize to everybody on here. I got up. I got this dumb laptop. So here we go. We are back, and Missy Jen, I'm gonna send you over a link. Elvis put his gear shifted. I'm not sure what happened to his thing. He'll be broadcasting from an undisclosed shifting location. Welcome back, Annie. Sorry about that. I got up and I kicked the kicked the plug right out of Missy Jen's looking at me like, you've done it again, Rosie. You've done it again. Send you over a link. Hey, there you go, Five Goblin. Nice to see you, my man. Let me turn this side chat off here. Got too many running over here. All right, undisclosed shifting location. Welcome back, Annie. Sorry about that. I got up and I kicked the kicked the plug right out of Missy Jen's looking at me like, you've done it again, Rosie. Okay. Kim says, Missy Jen, seen that hilarious speeding tractor commercial. It's hilarious. Yeah, nice to see you, Five Gobblers. Good to see you. So, all right. Yeah, it's a little synchronization problem. I think it'll be okay now. So I think we'll probably be able to get back to a normal Hangout. So if anybody wants a link, yeah, you're doing an over voice. Yep, that's exactly right. So I think it should be okay. Let's hear over voice. Yep, that's exactly right. So I think it should be okay. Let's hear it. All right, there we go. Yeah, Rob, I don't think I'm going to be sending you a link, Rob. Sorry, no offense to you. Yeah, I'm going to send you a link right now, Deb. Let me go ahead and send that to. Be sending you a link, Rob. Sorry, no offense to you. Yeah, I'm going to send you a link right now, Deb. Let me go ahead and send that to. Be sending you a link, Rob. Sorry, no offense to you. Turn that down for a minute. Let me, Sonny, I'm going to send you the link first as a courtesy to you. Let me go to Gmail. And then when I get everybody on panel, I'll have to stop out a minute. I'm going to have to restart. I don't know if the thing didn't synchronize right again. So.